Hey, if you're like me, you're hacking around the golf course and you're calling it golf all the time. If you're like him, you learn to play the sweet spot on your club because you learn that it's an art and it's a science to hitting a golf ball. That's why you at home right now want to come to a Jack Nicklaus Academy. Right, Mike?
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I spent a tremendous amount of time in my life trying to teach the average person the basics or the developmental part of golf. I mean, there's so much information out there now, and it's not that the information is incorrect, it's just that it's not applied to the right person at the right time. So it's like if you can't add 2 + 2 and get 4, an algebraic equation, even though it's correct, won't make any sense to you. Well, the tour players' golf swings, in a sense, are that equation. It's not that what they say is wrong, but it applies to them. And they're at a whole different level as far as their developmental skills. So when you take the average person and you see thousands of them, you learn where they are and what best fits them and what they need to learn to be able to do what their potential is. So I've spent my whole life myself playing, working on my own game, and then working with thousands and thousands of people and showing them how to work themselves through this fog bank of information that's out there.
Now look, you've seen the pro, your local pro, and you should always support your local pro. Mike knows what he's talking about. His pedigree is, well, one of the best in the whole face of the planet. Golf Digest ranks you in the top 50, yeah?
Yes.
Instructors. Another little magazine, Golfing Magazine, has you in the top 100.
Correct.
Yeah, so this man knows what he's talking about, and certainly for Mr. Nicklaus to lend his name and belief in Mike. It's the bear, man. It's Jack. Trust in Mike to pass on, well, golf his way, the Jack Nicklaus way. Let's talk about some of the fundamentals that so many people forget about. What do they forget about when they're out there?
Well, I don't think they forget. I just don't think they've been made aware of. There's some real simple things, a couple in particular, that if people don't understand, the whole global picture of a golf swing assumes they can do those couple of things. And for me, being able to go all around the world and watch all different levels and all different types of people, you start to see what skills they actually need to develop. And one of the most important skills that people don't have is the ability to control the club face. And it's like if you were going to ice skate, you have to learn how to control the blades. You got to stand on the skates. If you're going to ski, you have to learn the edges. If you're going to play tennis, you have to learn how to put the racket on the ball. Well, golf, you have to be able to learn how to control the face and the path that it swings on before you do all the global things. And so if we can teach people what that is and how to do it, all of a sudden the game starts to be not quite so difficult. It's still hard and it still takes practice. That's part of the allure of it. That's the fun of it. But you can shortcut the learning curve dramatically and the frustration level dramatically.
See, I thought it was all about the pants I was wearing, the golf shirt I was wearing, what kind of cigar I was smoking out on the course. It actually has to do with this little thing called a hosel and a head and a hoodle and a hitty. So why don't we do something, okay? Let's go on out. Mike's going to show us one little basic that you sitting right there in Idaho or wherever you're watching the show right now needs to know.
Hi, Randy. One of the most important things in a golf swing, you see tour players all the time and they're standing there and they're doing this as they're warming up or on the range. Well, this little fundamental, how this left arm rotates, that's what controls the club face. So this left arm is more of a rotator than it is a puller. And people see pictures where they see this, it looks like they're pulling, but the reality is their left arm is actually rotating. So you have to learn to be able to rotate your left forearm and control the face. So when I hit a golf ball, that left forearm just rotates. Now if I take that little motion and I put my right hand on, that same motion keeps going regardless of the length of the swing. This controls the face. This arm is more of a rotator than it is a puller. And that's one of the biggest misconceptions in golf, is that the pictures make you think that this pulls. The reality is it rotates and releases the club head to the ball. That's what the game's about, put the club head on the ball. One thing we've done with developing the Nicklaus Academies is go back through, how did Jack learn to play? What did I go through learning the game? And go back through the learning process so that the information fits the person regardless of whether they're in America, in Mexico, in Spain, in Korea, in Japan, which all those places we have academies. So it's the consistency of being able to tell the person, here's what you need to learn, these are the skills, and build their game on those skills. If you do that, you're going to have a lot of fun with the game, you're going to achieve your potential.
All right, so not only is Big Mike going to take you out on the range and show you how to turn the wrist, but you got other things inside too as well, yeah?
Well, the whole part of learning golf is about different technologies that help different learning styles. A lot of the people that are watching today are more visual, they'll pick up on that. Some kinesthetic, they like to do the actual positions and see themselves on a video. So a lot of teaching is about first finding out where you are in the learning curve, looking at you physically and determining what you can and can't do so you fit the things you need to do into what you actually can do. And then it's having access to all of the technologies possible to give you the best information that fits your learning style and helps you shortcut the learning curve. That's what it's about.
Wow, is that what it's really about? I thought it was about years of hacking around on the course in total frustration, reading a magazine and trying to figure it out on my own. You mean I could come to one of your academies and bingo bongo, I'm playing as good as you? That's a big stretch.
Wow, that's a stretch.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say that. You know what? The reality is that wouldn't be fair to the game, because the reality is anybody who's really good has earned the right to be there. And so that's part of the allure of golf, is that you have to spend the time with it. What we can do is help to shortcut the learning curve so you don't spend hours and hours out here working on things that aren't that effective for where you're at. So it's about helping you get through the learning curve and get to your potential as quick as you can. But the process is part of the fun of playing golf. The hacking that you said, you have to actually like to do that a little bit. That's part of the process. If you don't like the failures, don't take up the game.
Yeah, but the fun part, and if you're watching the show, you love golf, you love hot golf, it is when you strike a 6-iron on a sweet spot and it does exactly what you envisioned it to do, what you want it to do, and it dances on that green. So come to a Nicklaus Academy and Mike's going to help you with that.
That's right. And actually, if you do that and you hit that one, the next time you'll actually have an idea as to how it happened, and it won't be just pure luck, so you can actually duplicate it, which would be an interesting concept.
Yes, it would in my case.